But what's your one? I guess your final closeout game that you want to talk about.
My last one is definitely the most recent game on my list, like the one that came out most recently.
Okay.
In my opinion, is one of the greatest games ever made. It is a little game called Red Dead Redemption 2.
Never played it.
You muted yourself, Donovan. You just muted yourself.
I know I did. God damn it. I was so excited. I was rooting and tooting and fucking thinking about cowboy shooting when you said that.
When I think of like storytelling in a video game, like people are starting to see how video games can be storytelling like movies are and TV shows are. Like,
yeah, they got more depth, you know, like
this is such a good example of that. Like, this game is just so rich in story. You're following this group of crazy outlaws, like, and seeing the stuff they go through and how all the characters end up in the end. And like, it's so emotional in the end. Like, in the epilogue, you're just like, oh my God, like, what's going on?
Well, at the end, you're just like, one more train, Arthur. Like,
let me ask you this. Like, I've never played it, like I mentioned before, but I've been thinking about picking it up. Should I play it in 2022?
Oh yeah, this is the second one. This came out in 2018. So
absolutely, yeah. So like the second one is also the prequel to Red Dead Redemption. So you're not like gonna miss out on story by not playing that. In fact, you might set yourself up to replay. I think they did a remaster of Red Dead for like PC/PlayStation. Like they might have done like a Red Dead Redux or whatever. Red Dead 2 is the prequel, so like you're not gonna miss any story by picking it up. But the game is so well thought out and so well like developed by Rockstar, because Rockstar does churn out some pretty fucking good games. Like we've seen GTA 5 has been on the market and still is one of the top sellers on Steam and a lot of online marketplaces like to this day. And that shit came out fucking 6 years ago, I want to say at this point.
GTA 5?
Yeah.
GTA 5 came out in 2013.
Did it? Fuck no, it didn't. Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking 8 years.
I think they've
9
done like
years.
36 DLC or content updates since then. I think I just watched a video about
Holy shit.
And it's still going. They're about to release new ones.
Yeah,
like,
there's like a new fucking map/heist area. Like, yeah. But no, you're not going to miss anything by picking it up, but besides, I guess, knowing who John Marston is when you start. But like,
yeah. I played Red Dead 1, but I never beat it. It was never really like super my thing.
Oh my, Red Dead 1's had such a fucking heartbreaking ending too. Like that's their thing with those games, dude.
I know how it ends.
Okay.
But Red Dead 2 I picked up just because it looked so good. And man, I couldn't stop playing. Like, I was so hooked from the very beginning, and all the people you meet throughout the game and just how real it is. Like the world feels so real. Like, there would be some days I would get off work, I would turn on Red Dead 2 and I'd be like, I'm going to go down to the train station and just play dominoes today.
Yeah, honestly.
I love that.
So we picked up Red Dead Online because I played it a lot on PlayStation, but we picked it up on PC because it was on sale for like jack shit. And that was one of the things we did as like a Discord. We were like, yo, let's go to Amarillo and like just go to the fucking saloon and play blackjack or play fucking poker. And like we did it for like 4 hours, and I was like, yo, are we going to go rob a train or something? They're like, yep, I suppose it's time to mosey on down the trail. Like,
or like I love, like, you bust into the saloon, you walk up to a dude at the bar, you deck him in the face, and the bar just like, you just start barking.
They go nuts. They're like, yeah, it's bar fighting time.
I'm definitely gonna cop that. I might stream that on Sunday.
You have to.
Honestly, I would.
In my opinion, I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's a perfect game. Arthur Morgan is such a well-thought-out, developed character.
Well-driven protagonist and such a well-developed protagonist that like you cannot go wrong with. The voice acting is so phenomenal. The motion capture is like on par with the voice acting, and like you start as this band of criminals, and then you as a person begin to develop empathy for these people because you're like, well, I fucking do the same thing, you know. Like you end up caring for these people, which you should in some situations, because obviously Arthur, you play as him, so like whatever choices you make clearly are the ones that develop into like how the game ends. But like even like the other NPCs throughout the game that you find out like you work with like in your gang or like at camp, you're just like, that's just a dude living, you know, that's just a lady living. Like that's I feel it, you know. So like it's very rich.
It's amazing because like Arthur Morgan, he's not a good guy by any means. He does a lot of bad shit, but he's trying to do it for like the good reasons. Like he's trying to be a good person, but his situation is just bad.
Anti-hero.
Like very Deadpool-esque anti-hero style in the sense that like you start to feel and develop, and you're like, well, like I said, you're like, yeah, well, damn, I'd probably do the same thing, or like it hits you with that shit that like Metal Gear used to, where it'd be like, this is a morally gray choice. I don't know, like there's no right answer, but you want to pick the lesser of two evils, realistically speaking.
And then
which is phenomenal gaming in general, I think.
The ending,
great storytelling.
Like, the ending is so like gut wrenching, and like, man, it was to the point where like I would have dreams about the end of that game because it impacted me so much. I was like, man, that shit fucked me up. Like, so good. What the hell?
You're getting me amped.
It's
not
so
even
good.
the end is like, it's fucking phenomenal, but like the final chapter prior to the ending is like the most gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching fucking section of the game, because you're dealing with this specific scenario, and then the whole time you're just like, I still gotta be a good guy, you know, like it's
there's a part in the end of the game where like a lot of crazy shit's going down, and you get on your horse, you saddle up, and you're riding somewhere, and like you're like, I don't know what's about to go down, and this song plays, and you're just like, oh my god,
dude, that's they're so good at that specific mechanic, because I remember playing Red Dead 1, and like, not to ruin the story for that or anything, I'm not going to do that. But there's a point in Red Dead Redemption 1 where John Marston is one of the characters, like he's the main character, but you end up getting like stranded in Mexico, and you're just like, well, fuck, and like you hop on your horse, and this song starts playing. It's a titled track that like they made for the game. Like the Red Dead Redemption soundtrack is phenomenal, regardless, because it's like a big piece of Americana, like in the 1910s. But like the song starts playing, and like it fits. This is so like obscure to say, but like it fits the vibe of you, like you as a person. This is a song that I myself would probably play somehow if I was in this situation, stranded in Mexico, and all I had was a horse. I'd be like, well, fuck, I'm just gonna ride, you know. Like that's the feeling you get from that. And like there's Rockstar's so good at these type of things when it comes to like the Red Dead series. Like they build their world so well, and they set the tone and the mood and the themes of every single game they create, but especially so when it comes to Red Dead, that you get so fucking sucked in and immersed that you forget that all you're doing is playing a rousing game of rootin' tootin' cowboy shooting. Like
it's crazy. The only thing like a lot of people get turned, not a lot of people, but some people get turned off by this game because of how real it is, because it's slow. It's not like
it's slow, and it's a lot of the mechanics are very physics based. So like a lot of people were mad initially, but like it does make for some funny moments if you're not one of those people. But like just the way that physics work and the like mechanics of the game, when you're riding a horse, you get fucking taken out by a tree branch if you ride too close to a tree. Like it'll fucking clothesline your ass. That. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's good. It's immersive, right? Like people were mad about that, but
I always use the example like you're robbing a homestead and you're going through the kitchen and you have to pick up every can, every little box of crackers.
You have to open the drawers inside, and like it's like that. And when
people hate that, people want to just walk up and loot. Like
I fucking
press
love
square,
that.
loot the whole house.
Like, or even like the faster mechanic of looting, when you're like patting down a dead body or whatever. Like it takes a second for you to be like checking the pockets and shit. Like there's an animation for everything.
And then you have to eat and stuff like that.
Yeah, like you have to eat, you have to drink, not drink, I guess eat. Like your character's appearance plays a big role in the game too, because you know, like if you're well kempt, I guess, so to speak, you got pomaded hair and shit, and you're shaved, people like really appreciate you. But if you're fucking raggedy and you haven't washed your face in a fucking like 3 weeks or a fortnight or whatever the fuck, they're like, who the fuck's this some bitch rolling into town? Like, I swear, like the environment reacts to you, which is crazy too, because the game is like a real time setting situation where like the game is living and you're just playing in it, so to speak. Like these people, these NPCs in this game are doing their own fucking thing, living their own lives while you're just kind of like wading through it. So like you'll find NPCs that are carrying fucking stupid ass 2x4s to a homestead like 6 miles away, and you follow this motherfucker. He's gonna go and he's gonna roll out, and then he's gonna walk, get to his point. He's gonna drop this piece of wood and be like, "Whew, I'm gonna drink me some lemonade." Like it's insane.
World building.
It is, and honestly, it's insane how in depth the fucking game is,
And
which I appreciate, honestly.
You'll see like there's this town called New Valentine, and they're building a little house or a shop, and then towards the end of the game you finally see it built and like it's done.
Oh yeah,
really cool. Man.
You can actually, that's a side quest. I'm pretty sure you can help them put that house up. Like you can. Oh, I'll give you a hand, stranger. Like you can help them frame the house and shit. No, but no, like over time, like the game develops with time. Like I said, like real time stuff. For like seasons are a thing. Like it snows, it fucking rains. It's hot as fuck, and like clothing affects that too. Like you can dress your character because that's a big Rockstar thing. But like if Arthur's rolling around in the Arctic and he's wearing a fucking short sleeve shirt, he's gonna be like, "It's fucking cold, son of a bitch." like he reacts to the environment. It's crazy.
That game is still like $34.99 if I'm not mistaken.
It's true, like, which is probably like there's a good reason for that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly.
Yeah.
That's honestly a great price for such a fucking good game.